done. I just have to write the last chapter, but most of it's done. Hi, Karen. How are you? You are actually what reminded me that I wanted to text Karen because I hadn't talked to her in a while, and she's been dealing with some real life stuff, right? And that's the thing. So like, I usually keep up with like court cases that are kind of popular, but I haven't because I have been writing, right? So like, there are people that I talk to every day, you know what I mean? And I'm not even talking to them every day. Like, I am just like super focused trying to get it done. That way it's done. And then I had to deal, like, I think that people forget that like there's so much more going on in like people's real lives than like social media. Does that make sense? Because like, I want to kill the mechanic that is dealing with my brother's car, because I winds up having to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a lot. I know Indiana had really bad storms. When I was on the phone with my daughter last night, the storms were crazy. I was like, what is happening? But it's been, other than that, both of the kids are back to work, so it's been, I don't want to say easier because there's still shit going on, but it makes it a little better because everybody is just super overwhelmed, you know? It's just a lot for everybody. So I did Chrissy, did you see Spanish Dad also published? I was mad at him. I was like, how you gonna beat me to it? How are you gonna beat me to it? Like, but we joke about it. There's a few people, yeah, he also published. There's a few people that I sent the rough draft to, just to kind of get some feedback. Hi, Candy, how are you? I know, I've been super busy trying to finish, going through like publishing options to see what my best option is. You know what I'm saying? But I figured like my goal was to write between like 140, 150 pages. Right now I'm at like 105. So I figured that I would just, I said it before you got here, like I'll give myself a week, right? Because like I'll be out and like about and something will pop into my head and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta add that, right? So I put it in my notes and then I go back to it later. Or that's what I've been doing. So I'm gonna give myself a week and then I will, like literally by next Friday, I'll have everything done, everything written, edited, and done. So now I really just need to focus on a title, which has been crazy. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I'm excited because I'll be done with it. You know what I'm saying? So I do know people that have published, right? And I asked them what the best, because they've been through that before. They know what the best thing to do. And he told me to use Amazon. There was some, he said, I forget the name, but he sent it to me in a voice clip and I was super grateful he did.
Everything is free. I did I published my first book, and I'm in the process of publishing my second book through Amazon.
Amazon KDP is what he said. Because I was trying to really, I was trying to find out the best. I want creative control, right? Like I don't want a publisher to come in and tell me, oh, you can't say this or you can't do that. I really, it's mine, right? So I don't want to be told to take things out or to rewrite things. And some of it is, you're good. Some of it is really heavy, right? Like it took me a while, like as I was writing, there were things that, I gotta screenshot that because I was actually talking to somebody. There's a few things that I'm not sure, and it's the cover and the title, right? I'm really unsure, and I have time. I have a week. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't know, and I think that they kind of coincide, right? Like, I don't want to I don't know. I feel like it has to fit, if that makes sense. but like I did have like a really good writing schedule for a while where I would like, there are some things in my life that were like super traumatic, right? So like when writing that stuff, I gave myself the time in between, right? Like I wasn't just writing trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma. Like I was splitting it up and bouncing around for a while. Does that make sense? Because a lot of it was heavy subject matter, and I didn't. I'm really self-aware in that aspect where like I don't want to put myself in a negative headspace, right? So like I writing has, oh hey Crafty, how are you? Writing has always been, I don't want to say easy for me, but easy for me, right? Like there was a time when I was in school, I was taking an abnormal psych class, and I took the same professor multiple times over again because I adored him, right? And he told us we had to write this paper on developmental psych, right? And when I was standing in the like in the hallway before the class, I was like, my paper was 27 pages, right? But everybody else had written like 5 pages, 6 pages. And I went to him and I was like, listen, I think I did this wrong. Do you want me to take it home? Because he was the kind of professor that he would read, like, let's say he told you to write 5 pages. After 5 pages, he would draw a line and he would not read the rest, right? So I actually gotta remember that is in my apartment in Florida. So I was like afraid, right? And he said, no, don't worry about it. And he wound up handing me that paperback and used it for years as an outline to his class. So like it's always been really simple for me to write much longer work than shorter work. Does that make sense? Yeah, I really, I also, guess what I did? Guess what I did? I told y'all that my daughter applied for an internship at the Innocence Project, right? So I went in and I'm trying to pull it up. I pulled my paperwork from my New York lawsuit, right? Which I read obviously years ago, and then there was like years of drug use in between. But I went in and I pulled it, right? Because the whole reason that I got paid for that arrest was because they arrested the wrong person, right? So it was actually pretty interesting to read the documents years later, right? Because let's say I accepted the settlement on August 15th, 2014, right? So it was really interesting that like to see them, you know what I'm saying? To like go back and read like all of the stuff knowing what I know now. You know what I mean? I found it super interesting. So I gave it to my daughter so that she could read it because she's really into stuff like that. She's actually also studying for the LSATs. And we had a good laugh last night. Yeah, I don't know what that is, Chrissy. What is that? But I took these screenshots and it's super out of order. But like it's strange because it never really, like, you just think that the cops do their jobs, right? Like not arrest somebody. I'll show you a picture of the girl that actually committed the crime, and y'all could tell me how much alike we look, right? You be the you be the judge, right? Now it's important for you to remember, like, I am 5'5", right? Oh, that's awesome. Like, that's one thing that, like, my kids, like, they're good kids. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying. And, like, how I'm going to show you a picture, huh? You're going to be mind blown. Because we look, hi, Ash. Even from a distance, y'all, there is no way somebody could have confused us, right? And I'm reading these documents and, like, it was one cop. It was just one cop that looked at me and said, she's the one that did it, right? Wait until you see this because you're going to be like, because we look nothing alike. Did she do a drug deal in front of my house? She did, right? But and then they arrested me for that drug deal that I was not even home for. I had left, right? And that was like a serious turning point in my life, right? Because nursing, I had to fight nursing because it was such a highly publicized case that they were like, we can't have a nursing student in facilities doing clinicals accused of selling narcotics, right? So they made me withdraw from nursing while I fought the case. It truly is crazy. I'm trying to find a picture of her. We were no longer friends after this incident, right? Because I specifically told her not to do that in front of my house. And then obviously it became a serious issue for me, right? So I stopped talking to her. And then when I started, what up, Feathers? When I started like really seriously debating getting clean, right? That summer before, I was thinking in my head, about, maybe I should reach out to her, because it never occurred to me, hi Ash, it never occurred to me ever that I would never speak to her again, right? Like I was just mad. I would get over it, right? Like, I would have, I truly would have, except she died, that she died when I got clean. I actually went home to deal with her, hi Christy, to deal with her passing. But this is her, okay? Do we look anything alike? We look nothing alike, right? Nothing. And like, it's crazy that like with just the cop saying that, right? Because the cop ID'd me, and then other cops came and swore to his identification, right? So in my lawsuit, I'll show you right now. In the lawsuit, there are multiple, it's me, and then towards, like I sued the city of New York and multiple cops, right? Because they were the ones that ultimately, I don't know if you could read that, but it's the original cop that ID'd me, and then 2 other police officers gave sworn statements that I was the person that committed the crime. And it's crazy that that's able to happen, right? So I was reading the reports and stuff, and all this, it says over and over how my constitutional rights were violated, right? Because you would think that people would do that homework. Call me crazy, but like if I were a cop and I was like involved with that stuff, like they don't think of what happens if you arrest the wrong person, which is wild, right? So when after like, how can I explain it? So like obviously when I got arrested, like I had to spend the night in jail, and the next morning, when the guy that she sold the drugs to, when he saw me, he was like, what are you doing here? And I remembered, I was like, you met her at my house. And he was like, yup. And I was just like, motherfucker, right? But I had no idea. Christy, what's wrong? I had no idea how big of a case it was until they were transporting us to like holding, and there was press outside. I was just like, I had no idea, because it was just wild. You know what I'm saying? You never think that something like that is going to happen. It's a crazy situation, honestly. Did she leave? What's wrong? Well, Christy, does anybody know how Big Papa is? I saw his wife posted something, but I spoke to him recently just to like check in, because I know it's really hard. And like that's the thing about the brain is it's so unpredictable. You know what I'm saying? It really is so hard to like to narrow down. Okay. She said she got a phone call. It really, right. I saw something she posted, but before she posted that, I did send him a DM. Like I saw him in comments somewhere, and I asked. I said, "How are you doing?" And I know that like it's a roller coaster of emotions. You know what I'm saying? But he's a good dude, and that makes me like I feel like good people always like suffer more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she said she hoped you were feeling better. I didn't know that something was wrong. I've been like super focused and like but by focused I mean not even paying attention to like the trials that are going on or like oh no. I'm sorry. That's hard. I feel like I think that when you're faced with any type of mortality in any way, right? Like obviously we all die. And I don't think that I've ever been afraid of death, if that makes sense. Like I don't think that I'm afraid to die. I think that I'm afraid more for like those around me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was talking to somebody this morning about like my siblings, right? Because we'll take the oh god, that's sad. I'm sorry. My brother in his car, for instance, right? He wants me to call them and me to talk to them, and it's like my they were always so dependent on my mom, right? And like they're getting like a crash course in adulting, you know, like even though they were of age, right? Because they're both in not really teenagers anymore. Well, I guess so. But like my mom still paid the bills, right? Like my mom still did those things, dealt with the people like the mechanic, you know? So it's really difficult for them to navigate. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, Tammy, that's terrible. Hi Vegas Amanda, how are you? Yeah, that's what she said. That's why I texted you. Because I wanted to see what was wrong. I think that I don't know. Like I'm super close to the kids, you know. So I feel like I've never this is new for me too, right? Like I've never lived a life without my mom. So like while I'm trying to adjust and get things situated, it's I also have to do that for them, right? And I wrote about this actually in the book where I said like um when my mom was right like when things changed around here for sure, like late October, November, like the whole energy in the house just shifted, right? And I let my mom voice uh the feelings that she was feeling, right? Because I understood like it's got to be really hard for her to accept the fact that she's dying. Hi, to accept the fact that she's dying, like she's not even going to see my siblings' lives. You know what I'm saying? 18 and 19 years old, she's not going to be here. So I would listen and be that for her, right? And now things have changed where like it's the kids that need to do that. And I feel like it's always like me having to like suck it up and hear it. Does that make sense? I don't know if like I'm conveying it the right way, but like I feel like it's just expected of me to like take it or learn how to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? But I do it because I know that they have to do it. And my little sister, she's the only one that doesn't go to therapy, you know? And like I'm trying. You know what I'm saying? I remember being that age and thinking like, fuck therapy. I love therapy. Like, I love therapy. Call me crazy. I do not care. But at least I get to like projectile vomit all the shit that I'm dealing with onto somebody else, right? So I love that. I don't know, but she's not at that stage yet where where she sees it as a valuable thing. Instead, it's viewed more like a punishment. Does that make sense? So, like, you got to remember, their dad died in 2014, right? Absolutely. I agree, Blondie. Um, and I know that she needs it, and I don't know how to, like, make her understand that it's a tool. You know what I mean? Like, not punishment. So when their dad died, obviously they had some issues. They were still really young, and they were trying to accept the situation, I guess. So my mom had put them into counseling, which was the right thing to do, right? Because if you think about it, my mom had, I don't know, 2009. My mom had like almost 20 years clean when she passed, right? I'm an addict. The chances, right, because they have so much trauma, unresolved trauma is the gateway to addiction, right? I've been trying to like ease in and try to like get her to go to therapy, but I haven't been successful yet. My brother goes, my middle sister goes, I don't have a damn problem going. And I talk about this too in the book, like how I'm really good at compartmentalizing, right? And that's probably a trauma response when you think about it, right? But at the same time, like I know, really, I don't get angry. But like if you took me now to who I was 9 years ago, right? Like my ex-sister-in-law, when my ex-husband and when I first threw him out, right? Obviously we were still a part of each other's everyday lives, and there was one day where he was high as hell, and it was his time with the kids, right? So I went to his apartment where he was, and his sister lived across the street. I was stone cold sober, and she called CPS on him, right? Not me, him, right? One of the last conversations I had with her before I got like right in my head, I told her the next time I see her, I was going to smack her in the face with a tire iron, right? And she and I, like, we're fine now, but that's who I was then. Like, I was not in any way, shape, or form stable at all, right? Even without substances, like, I was still super, like, volatile. So therapy, right? Because I wasn't like that before, right? I was super reactive then. Now I find myself being more of like a de-escalator than like a throw fire on it. Does that make sense? And that's therapy. Like, what else could it possibly be? Now I understand that it's not, maybe this is not right. I think that everybody can benefit from therapy. I think that there are different, obviously, like a good fitting therapist will be better than a non-good fitting therapist. Right, and that's it too, right? Like, I think that in therapy you do a lot of absolutely, well, because it's a secondary emotion, right? Beneath anger is always something else, always. So like, it depends on how self-aware you are to know what it is that's causing the anger. And I think that most, hey Ryan, I think that most addicts, I don't want to say all, thank you Ryan, but at the same time, most addicts that have done some kind of work, right? They're better at identifying the why than, so I do agree there as well. I do agree there as well. I think that when you have trauma, right, and I think that I've never met an addict without something, right? Even if it's something like abandonment of a parent, right? There's trauma there, right? I think that most therapists, right, are not. I think that therapists, I'm trying to find the words, I'm sorry. Trauma therapists are by far better at working that side of it to get you to acknowledge so that you could change it, right? Trauma therapists are much better than regular therapists than anybody else that I've ever seen. You know what I mean? But I think that it's right, and it's, I don't know how to explain it, but like, I know that it took me a long time to understand myself, right? I think I might have it off, Ryan, because I get so many requests for battles. I know that people are like super upset about the TikTok thing. I do not care. I do not care. Right? Because I'll say it again. I think that this app has a good way of like community, right? But I think that there are way more cons than positives. I am so over the battling. Like, I'm just over it. I'm just over it. Like, if you're battling every day, right? If you're battling every day, are you getting like a bunch of new followers every day, or is it the same followers that are gifting you? You know, it just drives me crazy. Same, Ryan. But here's the thing, though, Blama, they're not gonna, right? Because TikTok gets 70%, right? So why would they shut that down when they're getting money from that? That in the TikTok shop drives me mad. It drives me mad. And like, right, same, Candy. Like, do you not feel exploited? Like, I don't know. I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan. And there is one battle that I did, and I was kind of pushed into it, and I was so uncomfortable. Like, I don't like that. You know what I mean? Oh, I agree, Candy. 1000%. It'll probably be meta, right? It'll probably be meta. I know, but I was so embarrassed. Ashley, I have bought two things from the TikTok shop: the Shadowwork Journal and the Lucky Girl Journal. That's it. That's it. Right? Oh, I see. I never really. I just know that I had to block the hashtag because it was legit all I would see on my FYP. But that's all I've gotten, and that stuff. I actually got a bunch of books. Um, right. I really don't do that anyway, though. I've gotten like much better at stuff like that. Right. I just, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm in this place where, like, I got bigger things to worry about. You know what I mean? And, like, I know how I feel. Hi, how are you? I know how I feel about, like, TikTok, right? And that has changed. I will say that, right? Like, it used to be a much bigger, like, part of my life. And as that's changed or evolves, right, I do not care. I do not care. Yeah, dude. I was actually thinking today that I didn't know I got to do something because this is fading out, right? And I think I'm just going to leave it bleached blonde because summer's coming. Yeah, text me. My old phone, I could still get texts on. I just really, I don't, I just don't give out my new number. Like, I just don't do it. There are so many, I just don't do it. Like, so few people, and I am good with it. You know what I mean? I'm good with it because I don't have to deal. All of my notifications on like apps are off, right? I just, nope. I'm good. I'm good. But really, I see, and here's the thing. I sometimes I miss my hair, but not many. Not many at all. I hate having to color it. I hate it. And every single time I'm on the phone with Riots complaining because I have to bleach it to get the color right. You know what I'm saying? And then because my roots are blonde, it winds up 2 different shades of blonde. So then I just shave it because I get super frustrated. But I do not, I don't think that I miss it enough to grow it back that long because my hair was super long. How's the baby and the new place, Candy? I gotta go get coffee. Yeah, I took a break from editing. And, I hope you have a good day and I love your face. Listen to me, Ryan. My hair, before I cut it, to straighten, my hair is curly. To straighten it, it would take me hours. Hours, because it was long and thick as fuck. Hours. Who's got that? Not me. Not these days. You know what I'm saying? That's awesome. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. It's about that time for me to go back to Florida. Almost. And I'm really trying, that's another thing that like I'm trying to get done. Like my middle sister was Florida. Almost. And I'm really trying, that's another thing that like I'm trying to get done. Like my middle sister was, it says I'm connected, but it's red. Yeah. Are we back? I don't know what happened. Can you hear me? That was so weird. No, it wasn't you. It was me. I saw it go red and I was like, what the hell? Oh, Vinny. Come on, mommy. Come on. Finn wants to say hi. No. It was me. I saw it. And I was just, come on, Finn. I just turned, I went, can you hear me now? What's you doing, Vinny? No. Can you hear me? Because I think it was me. I saw it go red and I was like, what the hell? And I just tried to pull it up on my phone to check it. When it came back, like all the comments came flying through. So I don't know what happened. I've never seen that happen before. That was weird. That was weird. Strange. I saw it like, like when you go live, there's a little house here and it turned red. It told me I lost connection, but I could see that my phone was It connected. It was real weird. Yeah, I've never seen that happen before. Strange. Real strange. But it is what it is. As long as it's good now. Yeah, so I saw that there was like a tornado in Ohio. Really? I goes by the box. Let me try to pull it up. No, which ones do you know? I also, I'm trying to pull it up. I need to check the recalls on my brother's car as well. Oh, wow. Not the ones I eat. I've been trying. I think my doctor is on vacation because I really think that I have ulcers, and I've been trying to. Oh wow, this is 2023, Chrissy, or did it happen again? Oh, potential for salmonella. Wow. Have a good good day. Right, that's what I'm saying. Oh, wait, January 11th, 2024. I could see this one. Oh, wait, I see it. It started in 2003. Oh, you're at the grocery store. It started in 2023 and they expanded it. Expansion of December 15th. Yeah, 2023 recall to include cereals, bars, and snacks listed below because they have the potential to be contaminated with salmonella. Lovely. Hold on, I'll read you the products. The products listed below are sold throughout the 50 United States, and if you have them, you should dispose of them. Customers that bought them, so it's the Fruity Fun. Oh, God. I don't use Sargento, so that's a good thing. Fruity Fun granola bars, the yogurt strawberry flavor, blueberry, the yogurt variety packs, Captain Crunch treat bars. I'm sorry, Captain Crunch Treats Crunch Bars cereal bar, Captain Crunch Treats variety pack, Captain Crunch Treats peanut butter crunch cereal. It's too many things for me to like not bother. That's crazy. Cinnamon Crunch. Oh wow. Ew. Captain Crunch instant oatmeal. Mm-mm. Yeah, I think it's on here. It is on here. Here, I'll send you the link. There's too many things here for me. That's for damn sure. Oh, actually, I don't see the chocolate chip granola bars on here. I don't see it. Hold on. These are cereal bars. These are cereals. And the snack mix. Hold on. I'll send you the link, but it doesn't have the chocolate chip granola bars on them. Because that's the ones that I eat. And I don't see it. Hi, Crazy Chrissy. How are you? Where is your number? Oh, I have you saved as something else here. How are you? Did you get a bunch of storms too? I know you live out there. But it's not on this list. Hi, Boxes Dog Mom. How are you? Oh, at work? What are you making? That's what I do need. I need some new ideas for food. Because, you know, yeah, I'm not really around Boxes Dogs Mom. I've been spending my time doing more productive things. You know what I mean? Really? Where are you? That might be the case too, though, Christy. They might remove everything and ask questions later. Salmonella, you know. Oh yeah, I did see when I logged in, something came up about a tornado in Ohio. My daughter, when I was on the phone with her last night, she's in college in Indiana, and the storms were bad. And I don't know anything about like tornadoes, and she was on a tornado watch, and I said, well, where do you go when like what's the protocol? And she said they go to the basement, but the basement has windows in it. So I was like, that's weird. You know what I mean? Oh God. Well, I'm glad you're okay. That's scary, y'all. Weather is so unpredictable. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. My little brother was pissed because he's not working on St. Patrick's Day, and like that's a high volume day. So I was like, ugh. I'm sorry that you had a bad vacation. That sucks. I've been noticing that I got to call my doctor. He's closed until Monday now. Oh, really? I know. I feel like it's like the whole Midwest kinda just got like super bad storms. That's wild. Did you guys see the bachelor party in Nashville? Chrissy, did you see that? A woman posted a video trying to find, I reshared it actually, a few of her videos. She posted a video trying to find the women of these 5 men that were in Nashville at a bachelor party that had assaulted her friend. TikTok found those guys in like 5 hours, dude. 5 hours. Done. It's crazy. Something like that I feel like, and I really believe like that's what the government's scared of. Like TikTok has the strongest algorithm that I have seen anything else have. You know what I'm saying? And I think that you're afraid of things like that when you have a bunch of shit to hide, right? Oh, oh, that sucks. That's what I'm saying, Crystal. They found the guys, right? And I don't know how, but because it was a bachelor party, somebody was getting married. One of them was a cop, okay? And when they found the women, they didn't want anything to do with it. You're about to marry a man that just sexually assaulted a woman to the point where like she was in the hospital, right? And you don't want to hear it. I think I would be grateful that like you're dodging a bullet, right? Because especially with uh fuck that. Fuck that. That's crazy. How's your daughter how's your daughter doing? I haven't been around in a while. Right, run, Crystal, run. Men like that, that's not a one-time thing, dude. Barely ever is it a one-time thing, right? I would be thankful, right? Because when the girl that posted the story, um, she just wanted to be like, she wanted to find the women. She wasn't trying to find the men. She was trying to find the women so that they knew what they were getting themselves into, which I think was great. She never expected the video to go mega viral, right? And it did. And they found them, and you don't want to know? You wouldn't want to know? I would want to know. Especially if, like, you're about to marry this dude. Vax! Vax! Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I don't know if you guys follow Brandy Mack. She's been getting a shit ton of hate like the last week, maybe. I followed her probably like almost the entire time I've been on TikTok, right? Well, there you go. Her daughter is an addict, right? Her daughter came to her, I think after Thanksgiving and wanted to get sober, right? So Brandy let her come home. She's always been really, like, she used to be really strict with those boundaries. She does raise her grandson. And over time that changed, right? Right. Same, Natasha. Same. And one of watching her go through like the path that she's been on, during the ends when her daughter was, still struggling in active addiction, she said, do what you can live with, right? And like when I really thought about those words, right? Because like the reality of addiction, it is life or death at this point, right? And at some point, loving an active addict, they always use like tough love doesn't work, right? Somebody isn't ready to get clean until they're ready to get clean. But in her situation, it was the daughter came, what up? The daughter came to her and finally was ready to get clean. So, and she's pregnant and people are raging. Why are you raging? You know what I'm saying? If the daughter is sober and like, why do people like have such an issue with that? I will never understand. I will never understand why people choose to like, I don't know. And I think that Brandy does a really good job of being an advocate for addicts, right? And she's had it super hard, y'all. Like when I started following her, her daughter was like missing in a different state. Like just to see things from her perspective, really, same, really made me think about what I did to my family or like how my family felt, right? And like it, I don't know how to explain it, but it really did start putting my changing my thought process, right? because I had always been the one that hard boundary for me as far as active addicts. Like, I don't surround myself with them. I don't really even communicate with them, right? And I think that watching her journey really like opens my mind to a lot of like her side of things. Does that make sense? I know I'm super all over the place, but oh really? Yeah, I like Brandy, and I think that like she is such a good advocate, being, you know, like a medical professional, right? She always talks about the crookedness in the treatment industry, and she's not wrong, right? I think that having somebody like her on our side of things really does it helps. Yeah, I know. I remember, I know that we've talked about stuff like that, right? Hey, now that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. I was talking about you, ears ringing. I said that you beat me to publication. Right, it's same. Natasha, same, right? And you may not know that, like, I dealt with a lot, having an active addict really close to me. It's not easy to love an active addict, right? I think that it's really hard sometimes to separate the substance from the person. That you beat me to being published, right? Because I think that substances change people. You know what I mean? I think that some substances are harder than others on that. You know what I mean? But it's really hard loving an addict and trying to navigate that. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm an addict, right? Because I didn't do those things. I didn't do that. You know, like I still have that separation there. It's weird, strange. Dude, that cat, my mother's cat, has been walking around the house screaming. And at this point, I am totally convinced that he's talking to my mother. Oh, wow. That's awful. I'm sorry. Does anybody talk to Giggling Ghost? I left a comment on her, TikTok. Paisley had responded to a comment, and she said she had something going on. If anybody talks to her and knows, can get her in touch with me, I would appreciate it. It's a lot, y'all. And like any time that I used substances as like a way to escape, right? I always wound up with more trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like, it never fixes the problem, ever. It just compounds it to now you have like 1,001 things to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So like, that is not a viable option for me. That's a fact. I think that I think that things are different these days, right? And it's super. I think that it's easy to stay clean when you know what you don't want. Does that make sense? Right? Like, I know without a shadow of a doubt what I don't want to be, what I don't want to be in my life. That's what I'm saying, Crystal. That's what I'm saying. Like, he never used to do this before. And he just legitimately walks around the house yelling. And so I came across, I think it was a TikTok where I think I sent it to my sister, because I was like, what is up with this cat screaming? Because it came out of nowhere. And I was just like, this is weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, why is he screaming? Is something wrong? Right? And I came across.
Do you believe that cats can see ghosts and paranormal activity? What if I told you that behind those innocent eyes, your feline friend might be witnessing something that sends shivers down your spine? It's a chilling thought. The idea that cats can see ghosts, these beings from beyond the grave, invisible to us, maybe lurking in the very rooms we sleep in.
Now, granted, it's not something that I'm necessarily afraid of, right? and I sent it to my sister because it was like, he used to never do that. And now he's constantly just walking around the house yelling because you see dead people. But like, and then like it was weird how this, I'm telling you, TikTok's algorithm, there's nothing like it. Like I had been having this conversation with people like, why is he screaming? He's not screaming like he's in pain. Yeah, probably. Is it a big jaw? Right. And it is crazy to me how it like coincides with my mom dying. Right. And like he just walks around. He's not like in pain, yelling, laying down. You know what I'm saying? He just walks around meowing. Craziest thing. So like I'm convinced that now that, yeah, that's, I don't know about that, but everything has gone up. I do get the biggest one because my little brother, um, he's on like protein stuff like for the gym. So he uses peanut butter on a lot of shit. So I just get the big one anyway. But I can't remember the last time like what I spent on it. You know what I mean? But that does seem crazy. But you are in Massachusetts, so I would imagine that things are a little bit expensive up there. Hi, Mike. How are you? Let me tell you something. Oh, really? See, I don't go to Sam's Club, but I mean, I don't know where she is, so I can't really say. Thank you. I was just gonna say something and I forgot. I am so glad that like people as a whole, or people, like people that we've been around for a while, like so many people are just over drama and like posting other things, and I love to see it, right? I think that Kimmy, Kimmy posted a video. I don't know. I couldn't. Do you want me to look it up? Tell me what it is. Kimmy posted a video like she went back to school, and like I just love people moving on from like bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I love to see it. Tell it to me and I'll Google it to see. Like what brands, how big is it? You know what I mean? Because I think that makes a difference, no? I know. Spanish Dad is so funny. Um Hold on. I'll see what it comes up for, but no, absolutely not. Skippy says 627 at Walmart. That's what I'm saying, Natasha. And I don't think that it was easy for all of us to get there, but I do love that everybody has gotten there, right? Like I'm all for yeah. I mean, it's not that much of a difference, a dollar, you know what I mean? I'm all for people that are trying to better themselves in one way or another. I think that that's what we're supposed to do, right? Like humans are supposed, right? Exactly. And it sucks that like people aren't doing the same, but that's not a me problem, you know? But Kimmy posted that like she went and got her GED, she's going to college. Like, I love to see that. And I think that like, I don't know, this morning, that's what made me think about it. She posted like affirmations, and I'm just like all for it. Like people that want to be better, do better, I'm all for it. I am all for it. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like I really, life sucks, right? Like I don't think that many people have like this great life. Like most of us have been through some shit, right? Amen. And I think that doing anything actively to try to make yourself a better person or to feel like a better person, like good for you. You know what I mean? That's what I think it was, because that's what reminded me is I opened TikTok to find that thing, and she replied to the comment, but she posted affirmations, and I was just like, that's what I like to see. Like I don't want to see, you know what I'm saying? And I choose to not partake. Does that make sense? I'm good where I'm at. There is nothing anybody could say, could do to get me to go back to dealing with bullshit. I'm good where I'm at, you know? A year does make a big difference. And let me tell you something, y'all. 2023 was probably like I've had like bad years, obviously, but 2023 was the hardest like year of my life, but it was also the most self-reflective, right? So like I think that the difference becomes people that do that self-reflection notice the things that they've done wrong and then do nothing to change it. Those are the people I can't fuck with. You know what I mean? If you're not trying to make yourself a better person, what are you even doing here? You know what I mean? Because that's what we're supposed to do is be better people, you know? Crystal Dragon Check. That was a loony situation, dude. Like, and I listen. I really like Kimmy, Amy, and I were cool for a long time, right? But like, I don't. I'm not going to talk about it publicly, but like, I had a conversation with her where I was like, dude, like, something is wrong here, right? Like, something is wrong here, and she didn't want to hear me. You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna do it for you. It is hard, and it is worth it, right? But then again, I think that all ties into self-worth, right? Like, if you think that you belong to be a miserable human being, that's what you're going to be, right? And I think that a lot of people don't understand the power of your thoughts, right? Because if you sit around all day just thinking negative shit, guess what? You're going to be negative, right? So like, even if things are like really bad and you try to like get rid of the, intrusive thoughts or focus on the positive, which wasn't always easy for me. You know what I'm saying? And it does take practice, but things that are worth having, isn't it worth it? I just had that conversation with somebody recently. Like, right, that's what I'm saying. Exactly, BB. Like, for me, like, it was never a matter. It was never a matter of, I don't want to say, I'm not a negative person, but I'm realist, right? Like, I'm not going to live in a fantasy world. So like, some people may think that I'm negative, but the truth of it is, I just don't lie to myself about shit. You know what I mean? So like, if you ask me a question, I'm going to give you an honest answer. I don't think that that's being negative. It just means that I have the viewpoint that I have on the situation may not be a positive one, but it's the truth. Does that make sense? Listen, Crystal, I swear to you, there is nothing that could make me go back. Nothing. Like, when my mom, like, the metastasis to my mother's brain changed everything in my life. Everything, from the biggest thing in my life to the smallest thing in my life. It changed my perception on time, on the things that I pour my energy into, all of it. And it was crazy how it was just like a shift, right? Where I was just like, what the fuck am I doing here? You know? And I'm really difficult. Like, once I notice something, it's super hard for me to distract from that fact, right? Does that? Right, that's what I'm saying, Crystal, and that sucks that you had to go through that. But like, sometimes it takes a major life change in order for people to see things from an outside perspective, right? There ain't no, I do not listen. I've been watching Hippie Holly on my FYP for a fucking year, right? I hate the fact that she tells people she has autism and she doesn't, but guess what? not my motherfucking problem. It ain't my problem. I am so good at like keeping blinders on these days, right? Because the truth of it is, that's not my karma. I'm not going to have to answer for that at some point in time. She is. I'm good. Oh my God. Hey, I love to hear it. Yeah, I don't, I know a lot of people post the drama twins and I don't even know what's going on there, but like, I'm good. I'm good. But see, and that sucks, right? Like that's a super harsh lesson, but that's true, right? Like, right, it's Natasha, exactly, right? And that's what I'm saying about like your perspective, right? If you go through things that are unimaginable, right? And you could find that sliver of being thankful, right? It changes the way you think about things, right? And no matter the things that I go through on a daily basis, right? There's a lesson for me to learn there, right? You know who I watch Michael Armstrong. Does anybody follow him? Michael Armstrong talks a lot about soul contracts and like previous lives and deals a lot with like past life regression. And let me tell you something. Like the way that I'm going to try to find them so I could show you. The way that he talks about like learning previous, like you come into this life, right? This current life that we're in right now, right? The point is to learn lessons that you didn't learn in your past lives, right? So like if you could figure out for whatever reason, right? Because some lessons really suck, right? This guy. There's a lot of fake pages on him, but I adore him, y'all. Like I will listen to his lives, just listen to him explain like karmic relationships and soul contract. I adore him, right? And I think that that really puts a lot into perspective as well, right? Because like there is a purpose in life, right? And I think that knowing that purpose, I haven't done past life regression or like hypnosis or anything like that. But I would, he said that there's a way that you could do that and then you learn the purpose, right? I don't know that I'd be into that. Like, I think I'm a little too much of a control freak for hypnosis, to be honest. But I think that it's super interesting to hear like the way that things work, right? And now don't get me wrong, Crystal Dragon Chick, I'm not like, right, and not right. I'm not saying like I can't imagine that pain, and I'm sure it's much easier to say not being in that situation, right? But I think that if you find even the smallest thing, right? Because that's kind of how I feel about my mom, right? Especially because my siblings are super young and they're not going to have her the way I did my whole life, right? But at the same time, she was suffering, right? So letting her go because she was suffering, like she was that was like it took a lot. Like it wasn't easy to do. Uh-oh. What the fuck is going on, dude? TikTok is fucking with me, bro. I'm gonna have to end. What is this? I've never seen this before. I've never seen what just happened. I'm gonna have to send it to somebody and ask. But I'm gonna end because TikTok's doing weird shit. But I hope that, oh, that's awful. I hope that everybody has a good day. I don't know what's going on. It's telling me it's ending my live. So I gotta get that checked out. But I hope that everybody has a good day and I will see y'all soon.